In today's video, we'll take a look at one of the craziest stories of one of the biggest money laundering crimes in the entire blockchain space, committed by two brothers. Let's get into it. It all started when Larry, the elder of the Harmon Brothers, under the nickname Grant's Admin, created a search engine in 2014 called Gramps, which is described as the Google of the darknet, as it helps users find illegal narcotics, weapons, and hacking services on the darknet. Using Gramps, customers can pay through an illegal mixing service Larry owns known as Helix. Helix allows users to send bitcoins to recipients in a manner that conceals the owner of the bitcoin, making it difficult for law enforcement to track any specific wallet. Larry made a 2.5% cut per transaction. The business grew rapidly when the darknet's largest markets like Alphabet, Agora, Nucleus, and Dreammarket began directing their consumers to make payments through Helix. Helix would process thousands of transactions daily and had a total of 350,000 Bitcoin transacted between 2014 and 2017, valued at around 311 million USD at that time. At the peak of Bitcoin's price, that would actually be worth around 24 billion. The US FBI led an international operation that shut down one of Felix's core partners, Alphabet, in July 2017. After claiming that it was a major source of heroin along with fentanyl and was in search of the owner of Helix. In response to this, Larry shut down Helix a few months later to create a payment software known as Dropit, which he marketed as the Venmo of cryptocurrency for user-to-user transfers. Through blockchain analysis, law enforcement identified 16 Bitcoin wallets traced to Helix containing 4,877 Bitcoin with tens of thousands of transactions. Agents investigated these transactions and discovered one involving a website where customers could purchase gift cards using Bitcoin, and an email connected to Larry that was used to open the account. Larry was arrested in February 2020 in his Akron office when authorities executed a search warrant on his apartment, where they found a Trezor wallet with him. A Trezor crypto wallet can be accessed in two ways. Users can either connect the storage device to a computer and enter a passcode if they have physical access to it, or recreate wallets stored on the device by using recovery seed words. Agents were unable to access the storage device because they lacked the correct passcode. However, they could see from the blockchain explorer that Larry's addresses held control over the money. Larry was charged with conspiracy to commit money laundering, operating an unlicensed money transmitter business, and money transmission without a license. Prosecutors claimed Helix laundered 27 million in Bitcoin for Alphabet by integrating its mixing services on site, which his family denied. Larry was granted bail in April 2020 pending trial, and the subject of his conditions release included a restriction on cryptocurrency transactions. A few days after his release, IRS officers discovered Bitcoin had been transferred from some of the addresses linked with Helix. The judge questioned Larry about it when the prosecution returned to court. When he denied any involvement, the judge ordered him to reveal all of his passwords so that agents could transfer the last 4,164 Bitcoins, worth over 40 million at that time, to a secure wallet. Larry complied to establish his innocence, and the thefts stopped. Larry was asked to pay a $60 million civil fine, and his attorney made it clear during his guilty plea that Larry was unaware of the quantity or value of the transactions he had handled. But if Larry wasn't involved in the transfer of BTC from the addresses linked with Helix, the question is, then who was? It was Gary Harmon, his brother. Larry revealed to the prosecution that Gary was the perpetrator. Records show that Gary used Larry's credentials to access the wallets linked to Helix between April 19 and April 24, 2020, and transferred approximately 712 Bitcoin, valued at around 5 million at that time. A source later informed the prosecution that Gary had requested his opinion on Bitcoin gaming services. According to the prosecution, Gary deposited 68 Bitcoin with BlockFi, a blockchain service that enabled him to borrow money using his Bitcoin as a security for a $1.2 million loan. The loan was used to purchase a condo in Cleveland. There was also the infamous photo on his phone of him in a bathtub full of money. This picture was later presented in the government's court documents, and agents later discovered 4 emails from no reply at Trezor.io that were sent to Gary's Gmail account, showing how wallets were being recreated on devices. Gary was detained in July 2021 and charged with fraud and other offenses which he had denied in the past. In July 2020, at an interview with agents, he asked, "If I have access to everything, why wouldn't I take it all?" Gary's attorney had recently argued in court that it is not Gary's concern if the government is unable to keep up with technological advancements. The prosecution contends that in order for Gary to be released on bail, the Bitcoin seed words must be turned over. while Gary's lawyers claimed that the requirement would violate his Fifth Amendment right of not being incriminated by being forced to confess to crimes, thereby turning down the plea offer. Gary's trial is set for February 2023, and although Larry's sentencing has not been scheduled, his cooperation with the prosecution will probably result in a shorter sentence than normal. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. If you didn't, leave a comment letting me know what you want to see next and how I can improve.